Hi, I'm Don from Don Does Stuff, and today we're going to move my floating dock, which is right there, into its winter position to save it from ice damage. Let's get into it. So if you're not familiar with docks and the winter and freezing ice and all that kind of stuff, the reason you move a dock either, ideally right out of the water or lift it up out of the water like a drawbridge. The reason you want to do that is to prevent ice from damaging the dock, any such structures, when the ice goes out in the spring. Because when the ice moves out, you have enormous ice flows, huge force, a lot of inertia in these things, and they can just buckle a dock and take it off very easily out into the lake and damage it and God knows what. Anyway, so what I'm going to do in my case, this dock is about 20 feet long by 12 feet wide. So it's too big to pull out of the water. Also, I don't have anywhere to put it even if I did get it out of the water. And so I can't get it out of the water. So what I'm going to do is, I'm in a shallow bay here. So what I'm going to do is take that ramp off, remove the anchor chains and things like that hold it in place, and then pull it as close to the shore as I can. So the first step is to secure the dock so that it doesn't float away when I remove the anchor chains. This is a floating dock. It's held in place mainly by 6 large concrete weights that are in the bottom of the lake, connected to the dock with chains. So what I'm going to do is connect up this enormous rope between the one corner of the dock and a tree down there. And the reason I'm doing it in that direction is because the wind is blowing in the opposite direction. So this way, at least the dock will not float wildly away when I remove those anchor chains. So let's get at it. So I've got my temporary rope in place here. It's attached to that lug there at the bottom. You can see my anchor chains that I'll be taking off. And it heads across to that tree over there. I've attached it just very simply. So the rope's attached to the tree with just a very simple set of half hitches here. I'm not a huge worrier about the best kind of knot. I'm sure there's a better knot. Put it in the comments down below. But anyway, that's what I did. It's very secure. It's not going anywhere, and it'll do the trick. And you can see I've also attached 2 of the 4 floats that I use. These are just basically kind of bumpers because it's going to be close to those rocks. They don't really solve any specific problem, but they make me feel a little better that there's something between the dock and the rocks. And I've left the other 2 off that'll go on this corner just because I think I need access to this whole corner a little better, so I can put those on when I'm done. All right, the next step is to get these anchor chains off. Taking these chains off is a critical moment because at the point that they're no longer attached, I'm hanging on by rope. So I want to make sure that everything is secure. I do have 2 ropes here that I leave in all year round, connecting the near corners of the dock to trees. And I'm going to leave those in place until I'm ready to actually move the dock. So the next step is to get those chains off. Now, as I mentioned, the chains will be in the bottom of the lake. So what I do is I use these chunks of snow fencing as a bright colored object that I attach to the chains. And so these will be at the bottom of the lake. And in the spring, I'll use this what I call the barge pole, which is really just a swimming pool skimmer pole. And it's got this nice little bolt at the end that acts as a hook. So I can hook those things in the spring because it's about maybe 8 feet deep at this deep end here. So I think we're ready to take those chains off. Let's get at it. So I'll show you this now because once I get those chains detached, I need to move fairly quickly and I won't have time to show you what's going on. But the gangplank here, or ramp, is, I think it's 12 feet long, and it is enormously heavy. So what I've done is, so this end on the shore end just sits on these concrete steps. It's just sitting there, nothing holding it in place. I do normally have a rope attached to that tree, but yeah. And then at this end, it's held to the dock with, it's resting on a 4x4 underneath, and it's held in place by these two long metal pins. So what I do is I lift those pins off, and last year I put wheels on the bottom of the ramp. And so when I lift it up, I'll be pulling it onto the deck of the dock, like pull it basically up, and I'll be using those wheels to make it a heck of a lot easier to maneuver it. And there's two wheels at the dock end here. Hopefully you can see that. And then just two wheels along one side. I guess ideally I'd have wheels on both sides, but it's easy to move once I have wheels on one side. It makes it easy to maneuver. All right, let's get at it. So the water's very shallow here, maybe only 4 feet or so. So it's not too difficult to spot the chains in the bottom. So my orange things are not all that big. So it's not really a big deal here. I put larger orange bits on the other end of the dock where it's quite deep. So I've got my chain off. I've got this chain coupler piece here. So I'm going to leave that up out of the water. Just going to tighten it up so that it doesn't fall off. There we go. And it is actually these are stainless steel. This is galvanized chain, not the best. I've got stainless steel at the other end. I had to replace it recently. So what I do is I just have a piece of, I don't know what kind of wire this is, fencing wire or something, and I just poke it through a few of the pieces of the old snow fence piece, like that, twist it on, maybe send the chain through, some of the wire around that. That's just so that in the spring I'll be annoyed at how I've managed to attach this in so many places. And then I try to drop it where I want the dock to end up in the spring. Okay, so I have a pretty good idea where I want to get it positioned. There we go. I don't know whether you can see that. No, probably not, eh? I guess I better get the camera. So yeah, you can see it down in the bottom of the lake. Like I said, it's maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 feet deep here. And that'll keep that chain visible for the spring. And now let's do the other side. I have to get these plastic sheaths off the chains first. Just need a little knife to cut that. I use these to protect the plastic floats down there from the chain rubbing on it. I noticed that in the first year when I was doing it, the chain was actually starting to make a little groove in the plastic float. So this just prevents that friction from happening too much. All right, so I'm going to get those sheaths off, and then I'm going to take those chains off. And I won't be filming that part because I have to move real quick. So I have it about 90% in place now. As you can see, it kind of moves very quickly once you undo those chains. And it's always so cool when you're pulling on the ramp towards, it feels like you're pulling on the ramp and it feels like the whole land is coming towards you. But of course, I'm on the dock, so it's floating inwards towards the shore. It's very cool. Anyway, I'll just show you where I am. So I'm pretty close to where I want it. I do need to just kind of fiddle it around a little bit, and that long rope from the tree on the far side there needs to be tightened up because that's just temporary still.
So I'll show you one little trick for tying a long rope to something like a tree like this. So you wrap the rope around the tree. Just ignore the yellow rope. That's a kind of a backup rope. So this is the loose end of the rope here. I pull it around, make a really, really long loop, maybe 18 inches to 2 feet. So see, I've got this long piece here. And now just use that to tie a knot at the position that you want, like this. Okay, so I've still got this, and I'm going to do just a number of half hitches around the rope. And this is a heavy rope, so it's kind of tough to deal with. But I just kind of make it as tight as I can. It's not critical that it be super tight. So in this case, I've managed to get 3. Maybe I could do a 4th half hitch around there. And yeah, it's crappy as hell, right? So now I've got this loop. Now, if this loop here were to wiggle its way back out back out of the knot, the whole thing's just going to give way if it does it 3 times, right? So all you have to do is prevent this loop from leaving the knot. And what I do is just get a rope. It doesn't even, in this case, it's the actual end of the rope, but it doesn't have to be. And just pull that through. You can use anything. You could even put a stick through there if you could secure it. And just very simply, get rid of the leaf, just make a simple knot in that piece. And now this loop can't pull through. Or if it does, it can't pull more than 1 through. Okay, so that's a simple trick that I figured out. Or maybe I picked it up somewhere. I don't know. I'd really like to get that corner there tighter into this little spot here, but there's submerged rocks that you just can't get over. So this is about as best as I'm going to get. I'm a little worried about that corner out there projecting a little too far beyond the path that the ice takes in the spring, but I think it'll do. I may be able to adjust it. Well, I'll think about it. But otherwise it's pretty secure. You can see the shallow end pieces of that snow fence in the water. Right there's one. The other one must be under the dock. And in the spring we'll be able to see all 4 of those pieces of chain and pull them out. So yeah, that's about it. It's not too hard. One person can do it, and make sure you have good strong ropes. And think about single points of failure. I'm going to have 4 ropes on here in the end, attached to 3 different points on the dock. So hopefully if one of those ropes breaks, or if the ice hits it and something happens, anyway, I've got at least 1 rope that's still secure. Anyway, if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, and hey, you subscribe. Go down below, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification button so you get notification of all my videos. Yeah, see ya.